Everybody seated? Great. Here. Good evening. My name is Rich Vergello, Brisbane Chamber of Commerce board member, and I would like to welcome you to our annual State of the City event tonight. Tonight, we are excited to hear from Mayor Madison Davis, who will share with us an update on how the city is faring. I'd like to thank the City of Brisbane for partnering with us to host this event for another year. In addition, I'd like to give a big round of applause to our sponsor this evening, South San Francisco Scavengers. After the presentation, I will invite representatives from the city and the team from South San Francisco Scavengers to join me at the podium so I can present you with certificates of appreciation. Before we get started, I would like to introduce some VIPs in the audience. And we have Terry O'Connell, Councilmember Terry O'Connell. We have Councilmember Colleen Mackin and Councilmember Cliff Lentz. We also have with us, I'm a Chamber board member, Rich Vergello, and we have Teresa Montgomery from South San Francisco Scavengers also. So all of us at the Chamber support the work that the City Council and staff do each and every day to serve our community. With that, I would like to turn the microphone over to Mayor and the Honorable Madison Davis, who will start the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Okay. Good evening, and thank you for joining me for this year's State of the City address. I'd like to thank the Brisbane Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event and South San Francisco Scavenger for sponsoring. I also want to acknowledge my colleagues in the room, Terry O'Connell, Cliff Lentz, and Colleen Mackin. And Karen Cunningham sends her regards. It is my honor to deliver this year's State of the City address. Tonight, I'll recap Brisbane's successes and challenges of 2023 and focus on some key topics, including the Baylands, the storms earlier this year, special community events, and things on the horizon. So first, we will start with the New Year's Eve storm. On New Year's Eve, Brisbane experienced a storm event that brought back memories for some who lived here in 1982, back when we had a major flood back then. This time, there were two separate mudslides, one from near the top of Buckeye Canyon and the other from above Firth Canyon. This brought mud, rocks, and even boulders down San Bruno Mountain and overflowed our storm drains. The break that resulted in the mudslide down Firth Canyon roared into the community down Glen Park Way, including across all of Firth Park, and then 2,000 feet down San Bruno Avenue before gathering in thick layers at the 5 Points intersection right out here. This slide caused major damage to the house at 950 Humboldt, which resulted in the resident being evacuated. In addition, the Buckeye Canyon event first clogged the inlet to a major corrugated metal pipe on Old Quarry Road, and that sent debris flow into 3 different directions. First direction was the intersection of South Hill and the Quarry Access Driveway, which became filled with 5 feet of mud. Then the Crocker Park Trail at South Hill, which overflowed for 850 feet. And the debris then went across Integrated Resources parking lot into Valley Drive and then headed east to City Hall. And lastly, debris flowed to Old Quarry Road for approximately a half mile into the heart of the community, where it then flowed to South San Francisco Avenue, or San Francisco Avenue at the Senior Center and across to the community park. This flow also traveled down Old County Road, stopping just short of driveways leading into the Brisbane Village Shopping Center. There we go. I'm glad they have some photos for you to see. Due to the storm, additional staffing was needed in the city's public safety departments, police, fire, and public works. The Brisbane Police Department brought in extra officers on overtime to address the call volume that came in during the storm. North County Fire Authority activated their emergency command center on New Year's Day, and Public Works called in all operations and maintenance personnel. Following the storm, full-time and part-time recreation staff assisted with clearing mud and debris. From city streets and sidewalks, they made sandbags, cleared storm drains, positioned trail closure signage, damage to facilities, and provided short-term repairs. Staff also made individual phone calls to conduct welfare checks on homebound elderly residents. Lifeguards, after-school program staff, preschool teachers, facility attendants, and senior services staff all played a part in these efforts. In late September, the city's contractor got started on the emergency storm drain cleaning project to clear out the debris remaining from the storm and prepare the drains for the upcoming rainy season. This work is still taking place in the lower parts of the city's storm drain system, and to date, approximately 600 tons of material has been removed from the city's storm drains. The resident whose home was damaged hopes to move back in, with much of the cleanup work being coordinated by the Brisbane Lions Club, namely Dan Carter, who has been working with the resident. City staff has also been helping her with rent reimbursements from remaining funds in the Brisbane COVID-19 Rental Assistance Program. Supervisor Canepa's office has also assisted the resident with FEMA reimbursements. For the city's expenses incurred by the storm, staff has pursued federal, state, and county sources for reimbursement. This is a long process, but we're hopeful to see a majority of the requested reimbursements come through. We'll now move on to the housing element. Brisbane's adopted housing element is the second element in San Mateo County found by the California Department of Housing and Community Development, HCD, to be compliant with state law. The City Council appreciates the assistance of HCD staff, city planning staff, and especially the Brisbane community for helping make the sixth cycle housing element process run smoothly. This past November, the City of Brisbane was awarded a Voice of the People VOP Award, Excellence in Housing and Planning. The VOP awards honor local governments that best engage residents and include public opinion in community decisions. Brisbane was nominated for its online engagement and innovative use of simulation-based technology to educate and connect with residents as part of its 2023 to 2031 Housing Element Update. The simulations provided by Balancing Act by Polco allowed residents to show what areas they valued most for Brisbane's regional housing needs. We'll now move on to water bills. A public hearing was held at the April 6th and April 20th City Council meeting to hear written and in-person protests for water and sewer rate increases to offset the 94% SFPUC cost increase and the doubling of sewer treatment charges from the City of San Francisco since 2012, when the last rate increase went into effect. At the April 20th City Council meeting, the Council voted unanimously to approve Resolution 2023-17, increasing the charges for water and sewer services and setting the discount rate for the city's low-income rate assistance, LIRA, plan at 25% for all services. The new rates went into effect June 15th, so customers saw the change on their August bill. For a typical single-family home, the total increase the first year after the proposed increases take effect is approximately $47 each bi-monthly billing cycle, or about $24 per month. To learn if you qualify for the city's low-income rate assistance program, visit brisbaneca.org/LIRA, LIRA. Or the state's Low-Income Water Assistance Program, LIWAP, at csd.ca.gov/waterbill. If you have additional questions about this increase, which is for the purchase cost of water and the treatment of sewer, you can reach out to utility billing in the finance department. On a more positive note, we will talk about Got Wheels, a pilot program for residents 70 years and older. In June, along with our budget adoption, the City Council voted unanimously to approve a pilot program called Got Wheels, which affords 10 Brisbane residents 70 and older an affordable transportation service that is available when they need it. Got Wheels participants are issued a preloaded membership card and are able to schedule rides on demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Each month, participants are able to take 6 one-way trips or 3 round trips for only $5 per one-way ride. See more info about this program at brisbaneca.org/gotwheels. Also in June, the City of Brisbane was designated an age-friendly city. This process was organized in the beginning of February in coordination with CAFE, which stands for Center for Age-Friendly Excellence. 6 focus group meetings were held, including the task force group, older adults 55 plus, older adults with priority needs, a group of older adults from diverse ethnic backgrounds, and underserved residents 55 and up in a geographical area that is not usually represented. Our application was submitted to the AARP network, affiliate of the World Health Organization Global Network of Age-Friendly Cities, who provided us with this designation. The AARP Age-Friendly Community Survey is currently available to provide additional feedback about how Brisbane can continue to create a great place to live for our older adults. This survey will be instrumental in continuing to direct the task force in the creation and implementation of the AARP Action Plan, set to start in 2024, again in coordination with CAFE. The survey will be open through December and can be accessed at brisbaneca.org/AARP. Please complete the survey fully. We had something new and exciting happen this year, which was the Secret Garden Tour. And on June 10th, neighbors opened up their homes for almost 100 people who signed up for the Parks and Recreation Secret Garden Tour, an idea that resident Sue Cochran had thought of for many years. Parks and Recreation Commissioner Lisa Greenlee worked with staff on this year's tour to bring it to life. Commissioner Frank Kern was also in attendance helping at the check-in table, and Commissioner Tom Sewell lent his filmmaking expertise to capture all of the gardens, including reactions from those that tend to them. It was edited by our communications coordinator. In March, the city, with funding and support from our partners Peninsula Clean Energy and Cal-E VIP, completed installation of 10 networked level 2 EV chargers at Mission Blue Center, along with additional chargers at other Brisbane sites. In September, installation of an 8.5 kilowatt solar photovoltaic system on the Mission Blue facility, which is a critical emergency shelter for Brisbane, was completed as part of the Peninsula Clean Energy program to place solar panels on government facilities. On October 2nd, the city hosted a ribbon cutting at the Mission Blue Center to spotlight California Clean Air Day. Members of the press were also invited to hear comments about the importance of clean air from pulmonologist and Brisbane resident Dr. Gupta, Peninsula Clean Energy Director of Programs Rafael Reyes, and Peninsula Clean Energy Board Member and Brisbane Council Member Colleen Mackin. We had another ribbon cutting not too long after that for the Crocker Park Trail. In 2017, the City of Brisbane was awarded federal funds as part of MTC's One Bay Area Grant Cycle 2 Bicycle/Pedestrian Improvement Program for resurfacing the Crocker Park Trail. A finely crushed stone makes up the trail's new surface, with the result being an all-season surface for all ages and types of visitors, including those with strollers and wheelchairs. The city invited the public to a ribbon cutting for the trail's resurfacing at the trailhead across from the dog park in mid-October. This project would not have been able to be completed without the support of Councilmember Cliff Lentz, Randy Bro, and Karen Kinzer, who helped Brisbane receive the grant in 2017, and the various community members who attended CCAG meetings and spoke in support of greater walkability and connectivity in our community. Brisbane resident Paul Buscal made sure the trail remained a place where we could continue to respect and revere the wildlife found alongside the trail. We'll now move on to Sierra Point. The Sierra Point Open Space and Parks Master Plan is a compelling opportunity to reinvigorate a remarkable section of Brisbane's waterfront for the next century of use by creating a welcoming and resilient place to play and recreate, engage with the outdoors, and foster connections across generations and communities. If you've been down to Sierra Point recently, you will notice its growth, and with that, the hundreds of employees who are working out of the offices there. such as Bristol Myers Squibb, whom we celebrated at the end of September when they cut the ribbon for their extended Shoreline campus at 1200 Sierra Point Parkway. We are proud to officially welcome them to the Brisbane community, where they are now in closer proximity to their R&D colleagues in Redwood City, and look forward to a future of continued collaboration, innovation, and prosperity in Brisbane. Moving on to Day in the Park. Brisbane's biggest community festival of the year is the Day in the Park. And October 7th, I had the pleasure of awarding Sagar Rajan with being Brisbane's 2023 Youth Volunteer of the Year. Sagar is currently in his 6th year as a member of Brisbane's Youth Advisory Committee and is in his 2nd year serving as the YAC president. And what he does for our community is truly outstanding. He participates in the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which is the Teen Technology Help at the Sunrise Room, which started in May 2023. Brisbane's Youth Advisory Committee, in partnership with the Parks and Recreation Department, started the Teen Technology Support for Seniors ages 55 and up every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Sunrise Room. And yes, completing that AARP survey is something that the teens can assist you with. The program will be paused for the next few weeks due to it being college application season, but will resume on December 6th. We'll now move on to the Dark Skies Ordinance. This is something that we'll be talking more about tomorrow evening at our City Council meeting, and I'm expecting to see all of you there. That was a joke. Where we will be considering a proposed dark skies ordinance that would help protect the nocturnal environment, as well as community health and enjoyment of the night sky through reasonable limits on outdoor lighting. Thank you to everyone who filled out the Dark Skies Ordinance survey. From the count of 173 total responses, we know this is an issue that many have perspectives on. And I'm grateful for the many months and even years spent by our Open Space and Ecology Committee, along with our public works staff and planning staff, on studying this topic. You may be wondering, what else is on the horizon? Well, we have the Public Art Master Plan. At our October meeting, the Public Art Advisory Committee selected 9 arts to develop the first public art master plan for the city of Brisbane. I am thrilled at the potential this plan will have in shaping the creative fabric of our city, as I do think that art can be so much more than a tool for entertainment and beautification. It can produce vibrant destinations that strengthen local economies and make a positive social impact. Something else that will take shape in the coming year is minor construction taking place at the former Bank of America site related to Ample Battery. They are temporarily leasing a few city-owned parking spaces to install EV battery charging stations. They will be renting spaces at Sierra Point as well. With transportation emissions representing 60% of Brisbane's carbon footprint, it is imperative to enable the shift to cleaner transportation. Ample's technology could potentially provide an alternative to the longer dwell times of traditional EV charging, and may be particularly appealing to fleet vehicles such as Uber and Lyft, trucking companies, or even the city's own vehicle fleet. Supporting local businesses and their innovations that tackle the climate challenge will help meet the city's emissions reduction goals and is consistent with Brisbane's Climate Action Plan and Climate Emergency Declaration. You may have seen the construction that is started for the City Hall expansion at 25 Park Place. Our staff is lean already, but there is physically no more room for the organization to grow, which is expected in the coming years with the development of the Baylands. The city manager's office, city clerk's office, and HR will be moving across the street to 25 Park, and will be joined in the other half of the building by administration staff of North County Fire Authority, who will be moving their headquarters from Daly City to Brisbane. We look forward to even greater collaboration with their organization. Now the part that everyone's here for, the Baylands. What's happening? I'm going to tell you. The draft Baylands specific plan prepared by the property owner, Baylands Development Inc., BDI, has been submitted to the City of Brisbane and may be viewed on the Brisbane Baylands draft specific plan page. Hard copies of the draft plan are available for review at City Hall and the Brisbane Library. Please note, the plan is the applicant's proposal. The community will have the opportunity to weigh in on the plan and related environmental impact report, EIR, through a public review process, which is expected to get underway in the coming year. On May 9th, the city held a scoping meeting to solicit input from the public and agencies on specific topics they believe should be addressed in the environmental impact report. The city is now in the process of preparing the draft EIR, addressing the potential environmental impacts and the proposed specific plan. It is anticipated that the draft EIR will be published in 2024. A public review period will follow, where the public will be encouraged to comment on the draft specific plan at that time. Also, expected to be released in early 2024 is the draft EIR for the quarry. The applicant, Orchard Partners, has applied for a general plan amendment, pre-zoning, and a design permit to develop a 1.3 million square foot warehouse within a portion of the Guadalupe Quarry site. The proposed project includes closure of the Guadalupe Quarry and the reclamation and annexation of approximately 59 acres of the 146-acre site into the city limits to facilitate future development. These amendments would allow a range of light industrial and warehousing distribution uses on the property. A notice of preparation, NOP, of an environmental impact report for the project was released to receive written comments and suggestions as to appropriate scope of analysis in the EIR from all interested parties from June 16th, 2022 to July 18th, 2022. A scoping meeting was held on June 30th at 7 p.m. For more information on both of these projects, please visit the city projects page at brisbaneca.org/projects. Lastly, the city will be rolling out its new permit system, which covers planning, building, and engineering. This new software will streamline the permitting process and allow citizens and contractors greater online capabilities and will be as if the permitting counter is open 24/7, with the result being a faster turnaround for permits and what we expect to be a great online experience. As you may have noticed, we haven't spent a ton of time focusing on financials this evening, seeing as every time we discuss the budget, half the audience falls asleep. So we've decided to keep tonight's presentation on the lighter side. Of course, if you have any questions pertinent to the budget, we have staff here that can answer your questions or get back to you in the future with the information you're looking for. As my year as mayor comes to a close, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you. I've enjoyed every minute of this journey and look forward to serving on the City Council for another 3 years. Thank you for sitting patiently through this presentation, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have. In the event that you stump me, I may call on some city staff to assist. After we conclude with the questions, I invite you to stay and enjoy refreshments and mingle with neighbors. And also after the questions, the chamber will come up and do a few certificates of appreciation. So with that, I'll open it up. If anyone has any questions, I think we have a mic, a roaming mic. Don't be shy. Going once, going twice.
No.
Not on, oh, yeah. Do we have anyone on Zoom? Okay. Well, thank you for making this evening easy for me. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Rich Borgello.
Okay, I'd first like to welcome to the podium here representatives from South San Francisco Scavengers. Come on, Doug. Doug and Paul, as the senior guys here.
Well, there's too many of us.
Well, just at least as the senior guys here. So
Come on.
There we go, there we go.
You've been here for 40 years.
there we go. Okay, I'd like to present this certificate to you for sponsoring our event this evening here. Thanks so much, and for all the service you provide to the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks, Rich. Come on. Bring it in, guys. Thank you.
You want to be, okay. Now I'd like to invite city staff up here. Who's going to come? Clay?
Yeah. Anyone else who feels so inclined?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll count.
Clay, I'd like to present this certificate of appreciation to the city of Brisbane for hosting our event this evening. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Well, that concludes our event then, and we invite you to stay and partake in some of the food that we have here for you this evening. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next year.